Hey, what's up, y'all? Gadowis here, aka Ben, aka Lars, aka Aquarius Rabbit 2012 Prophet. So, you know how I said that the cross is actually the Milky Way ecliptic, and it's also to the Maya the north, south, east, west polar directions of the globe, which imply that the Maya knew that the world wasn't flat way back when. Um, so, it's not only that, so when you do that as a Christian, it's also a representation of the Milky Way ecliptic assisting you. It's not just help me Christ, it's help me Milky Way ecliptic cross that we're going to align with in 2012. Like Christianity is paralleling extremely with the Maya, because if it's true that the Olmecs gave the Maya the calendar and those Olmecs heads, those heads were actually like really more African looking features than they were Maya, Eskimo, or Mexican or something. Like the Olmec heads, they could have roamed Pangea, when the oceans were actual mere rivers and Africa was connected, to North America. The Atlantic was just a river that they could just cross at that time. I find it interesting that Africa is very similar to the name of Arabia, minus the F and the B and the C. I mean, like, if you just write it down, it looks very interesting. I think that modern cultures have such a similar foundation because the united land of the past, Pangea, um, it was all one piece, and people roamed throughout, and it was maybe 40% water instead of 75 now. And they had even bigger ice caps on the North Pole back then that melted a little, and then made it 75% water. But anyway, the question is, what do the Olmecs have in common with the Egyptians? Okay, because in the Egyptian days, in Africa, in 10,000 BC, when the original Sphinx was born, when it was just a lion ushering in the age of Leo, 10,000 BC, it was the age of lion. So when the pharaohs came, they later changed it to a man's head, or some say a woman's head because it's a very, very feminine chest. Um, I don't get who crossed whose path. Like, history is very interesting. Um, well, I was listening to McKenna. He said about a discussion on cannabis, and he says that uh, whenever he smokes a lot, he wasn't dreaming as much, and whenever he quit, he would definitely dream more. So smoking in daily life, cannabis affects perhaps your pineal gland to an extent, like, because that's what's purposefully involved in dreaming. Like, cannabis shows you that alternate reality where you constantly learn from something. Like, your curiosity is just really heightened on cannabis. So that pertaining to losing the dream information that you're being given at night, because you're just already channeling all this crazy wisdom under the use of cannabis during the day. It's like, which is a better balance? Um, yeah, I think he has the most mature perspective on narcotics use. Well, mainly shamanic hallucinogens. I don't do that white stuff.